Graham Souness has told me this story many times, that when he started his managerial career, Jock Stein, famous Scottish manager, won the European Cup with Celtic. Jock said to him, "Don't go looking for trouble, son. It'll find you. There's plenty of it." Do you think that taking Shearer on was a mistake?
Why? What do you mean?
Well, you were ultimately undone as a result of the battle that you fought with him for supremacy of the club.
No.
And it didn't work out for you, did it?
It was not that. Before I came, there was already rumours that I didn't want to play Shearer, and Shearer was upset about it. I didn't even speak with him about it, and nothing. That was already before I came, and I had a feeling that we didn't get along just because of these rumours, not because I didn't want him. The only thing is, I needed to play a certain. No, wait a minute. I needed to play a certain football that was associated with Chelsea. So I wanted the players to do a certain kind of thing, and the funny thing.
Be more specific. What do you mean you wanted them to do a certain kind of thing?
We wanted to play the same kind of European style of Chelsea, and in certain ways we did, and you know. And therefore, I wanted a little bit more of Alan. I told him that also. Wanted a little bit more. And
more what? He was a goal scorer.
No, yes, but a little bit more in how the European way has to be played.
Teamwork.
No, and I think he was the best. And I asked him that because he was the best player. And I think that later on we could see where it ended up, because I think that Bobby Robson wanted to get rid of him.
Well, Bobby had all but sold him.
Yes, they wanted to get rid of him, and the funny thing is that for some reason we also had this respect for each other, for the simple fact that he knew exactly what I wanted, and what it was needed to play a certain way.
So when you say you wanted, did you want a different kind of centre forward then? Is that what you're saying?
Not a different kind. I wanted to,
what did
from
he not
him.
give you that you wanted? What could he not give you that you wanted?
I think that he wanted everything on a plate, all the time.
And
I think, but the thing is, sometimes you need to cross each other. You need to go for the first post, second post, things like that. And for certain moments, if he just made that run, it would give
he
opportunity.
was when he got to Newcastle, recovering from ACL surgery, wasn't he? I mean, he wasn't the most
mobile?
Shall we say mobile?
You don't need to be mobile.
Forwards.
You don't need to be mobile in that case. For instance, I'll give you an example. I was with Mark Hughes. Mark Hughes played with me at Chelsea, and he wanted to run from box to box. He wanted to run from the outside, and I said to him, "Look, you are 34, 35. I don't want you to do that. I just want you to be available in the box. I don't want you to go outside the 18-yard box. I just want you to stay there in the length of that. I don't want you to do the running." Yeah, but that's how I was used to. Yeah, but you are 34. I want you less running, and I want you to be more available.
Sense.
And he was excellent. He says, nobody ever said to me to run less.
Makes sense.
And he was my best player.
So you could offer that as an example to Alan.
I could offer my experience.
It can be done.
I could offer my experience, what I had with international football. That's I played for Milan. I did it with Chelsea. The same thing, and that's what Newcastle also wanted. So I could not win that battle.
Why?
Because I think that Alan was the most important player for Newcastle, and he wanted to play in the same way that he wanted. Newcastle wanted to play me in a different way, and so I went to Shepherd and I said, "Look, I cannot win this battle, cannot do that." I said, so therefore, I think it's better to separate. And the funny thing is that Alan and I, after that, became friends.
Good friends.
Yes, they're good friends also, because I understood him. I understand why he didn't want it.
Do you think Alan ultimately understood what you wanted when he stopped playing?
He did. Because after that, I was in the studio with Lineker and Alan, and they asked me a couple of times, why you put him on a bench? And I said, no. I said, Bobby Robson wanted to get rid of him as well. So therefore, they said, okay, we stop this conversation. Stop this conversation. Alan was not happy. But the thing is that Alan and I, we understood he was a great striker. I just wanted some little details a little bit less. But because people from outside would say, he doesn't want you to play. I wanted him to play. But for some reason, he was like, I don't know, and things like that. So therefore, I said to himself, look, I cannot win this battle. I think that battle has been done also with Totti. You remember Roma?
Yeah.
Same thing. He wanted to continue playing, and he's the most important player from Rome. What do you do? And that was so I think that was Spalletti also was there, and he said, I'm not going to do this anymore. Same thing.
Happens.
And it happens. And the thing is, you don't want to be in a situation like that. The funny, like I said, we became friends, Alan and I.
And what was the compensation package when you walked away?
What do you mean?
I want you to tell me nothing, because you walked away with best wishes from them, with you offering yours to them, and we're happy to remain friends.
Yes,
There was no money involved, was there?
No,
That's what I'm saying.
I went with the family shepherd. I went with him, and I said to himself, look, I don't think that this was the right move for me because for various reasons. I don't want you to pay me because I had such a nice time and such a good thing. And he said to me, and we just shake hands, and we became friends because I knew that that was a battle I could not win. What happened after that? They relegated. And I knew that was going to happen. I knew it. It was just a matter of time. But you know, if you don't give me the tools, if you don't have the tools, then what I'm doing there? I gave it everything, and I still loved there. I loved it there. I really do, because these fans, they just need a little bit of success, just a little bit of success, and they are happy.
Oh yes.
And I felt them, and I felt that I could do it with speed. You know, he was. He was also a player for box to box running. I said to Speedy, I said, look, you are my best player. Left foot. I don't want you to run. I want you to control midfield. Play as a 6. That is your role, and he was my best player.
It's a rare act
what a
of
player he
football
was.
integrity to go to the chairman and say, this isn't working out for either of us. I'm walking away.
Do you think
I mean,
that,
more power
are you trying to say that doesn't happen anymore?
I'm trying to say,
No, because
I will say to you, it's the only act of that type I've ever heard of.
Me too.
Yeah.
To this day.
So I didn't want to be paid. I said, look, maybe this was not for me. Maybe it was, you know, I tried everything. But what you want from me, and I tell you, they begged me to stay. They said, no, we don't want you. I said, yeah, but I cannot win this battle. And if you continue
you take the battles you win, not the ones you can.
If you cannot change it, and eventually I was right.